David, I want to ask you about what drew you to make such a complicated film with complicated characters.
People. Well, to me, it's a personal film. I made it for my son, who's fought some of these emotional challenges, and that's why I was very excited about the book when Sidney Pollack showed it to me 5 years ago. And it took me 5 years to get it onto the screen, but that resulted in Jennifer Lawrence being in the film, which wouldn't have happened 5 years ago.
She would have been too young.
She was in high school, so it's a blessing. And also Robert De Niro and Bradley Cooper, everybody. It all happened. I had a whole different cast in mind 5 years ago, so it all came together as it was intended to by the stars and above. And I'm just glad these guys put their hearts into it and I'm glad they all have been recognized with nominations because they really did put their hearts into it. And it's a film that I think can help end the stigma of silence around mood disorders and the people who love them and have to deal with them. Everybody ends up dealing with it, and it isn't spoken about, and it needs to be spoken about and just treated like it is in the film, like a regular thing. I did it for my son so he could feel part of the world. So see, these guys are doing it, and they can figure it out, and they do all the things he needs to do, the strategies, the medication, and love can help you if you find someone who understands you, which is what those two did. It can help you. It's not going to solve it, but it's going to help you.
I think that is definitely a key element. I think what drew me the most about these characters was the three-dimensionality of them. You want to love them, you hate them, then you love them, then you hate them, then you love them. And I want to know if that's something you were conscious of going into it, or it just kind of evolved as they started becoming these people.
No, I think you want to try, as I've gotten older as a director, I want to try to see every side of the character. So I want to see their good sides and their bad sides, and I want to find a human way to embrace them in spite of their good side and their bad side. That's what Christian Bale had in The Fighter. That's what all the sisters had in The Fighter. I had great love for all those characters. I wasn't in any way judging them or mocking them. I don't believe in that, and so that's what I feel for all the characters.
Does it make it harder? I mean, just because you brought up The Fighter, does it make it harder when you want to have the kind of straightforward protagonist and antagonist and so on, in making the story have that uplifting ending?
Oh, you mean? Is it harder when you have three-dimensional characters to have a positive ending?
I think. Is it harder?
You can still end on an up note. You can end on a down note or a up note. I just gotta have the silver. I just gotta have the silver lining. I gotta have that gets me out of bed every day. I agree with what Pat Solitano says in the film. Isn't life hard enough? Isn't the world hard enough? Is it so bad? Can't somebody come up with a good ending to the story, as he says to his parents when he wakes them up about Ernest Hemingway in A Farewell to Arms? I'll stand by that position.
Thank you so much, David.
Thank you. God, you got a spring in your step, don't you?